Okay, once again, we are back. This time, ShadowPriest for L. She's been looking forward to this one, so let's get right down to it. There's a ton of differences. I'm not the biggest ShadowPriest in the world, so this will be an interesting adventure for myself as well. Uh, there's a ton of things changed here. You've got your new resource is now Insanity instead of Mana. You have no more Shadow form. It is gone. It's now just a passive. Lots of things that are different, so we'll just jump into the spellbook first before anything else. We obviously have the quest for the artifact running up to us and keep wanting to give us the quest, but we'll get to her in a little bit. So we'll just go through the spellbook real fast, and we'll start with Void Form. Void Form is now passive. When you reach 100 Insanity, you enter the Void Form automatically, reducing the cooldown of Mind Blast by 3 seconds and increasing your shadow damage by 30%. While in the Void Form, you gain 1% of haste every 1 second. This haste will also persist for 20 seconds after Void Form ends. Void Form causes your Insanity to constantly drain faster and faster until it's completely drained and Void Form ends. So once you hit 100 Insanity, go into your new Void Form, and it will constantly try and drain you out of that form by draining your Insanity, but you'll be able to generate Insanity a little bit faster because you'll be doing more haste, Mind Blast, cooldown reduced, all that stuff. All your things that generate Insanity will be faster cast. So the idea for the new Shadow Priest, I believe, will be to get into Void Form and try and maintain it as long as possible to build up your haste buff that you'll then keep even when you're out of Void Form, so that you can then get back into Void Form even quicker. So a nice little change there. And you're not all dark and purpley right now. You're just looking like your normal self. Your Void Form doesn't really change all that much, to be honest with you, but maybe that's just not in yet as far as the animations go. Shadowy Apparition still around. Shadow Word Pain, damage over time, crit strikes. You also create a shadowy version of yourself that floats towards your target and deals some shadow damage. So they're still there. Your Mastery increases shadow damage to Shadow Word Pain, Vampiric Touch, and Void Bolt, one of your new spells, by 38.4% based on my current Mastery. And that's one of your new spells. Like I said, Void Bolt is a new one. It's only usable in Void Form. It generates 16 Insanity when you do use it. It has a 3.5 second cooldown. Sends a bolt of pure void energy at the enemy, causing 23,778 shadow damage and extending the duration of Shadow Word Pain and Vampiric Touch by 3 seconds. So while you're in your Void Form, you'll be able to keep your dots up without having to recast your dots. So you won't lose time generating Insanity by having to redot your target. Shadow Word Pain still around, does the same thing as before, shadow damage, a little bit instantly, the rest over 18 seconds. Vampiric Touch, again, bunch of shadow damage over 24 seconds. It heals the priest for each point of damage dealt as well, and if it's dispelled, the person who dispels it will of course run around and cry. Mind Blast still around, generates 20 Insanity now. It's a 7 second cooldown, I believe reduced with haste. I'll double check that later on. It's a very fast cast though. Could have swore that cast was longer on live, but who knows. It's a 1.18 second cast, and I only have about 26% haste. So Void Bolt, like I said, the new one, Mind Flay, still around. Just does the same thing as before. It does generate 12 Insanity over the duration. So your generators are going to be the Mind Blast with 20 and the Mind Flay with 12. And you'll just basically be rotating between those two until you get to your Void Form. Once you're in your Void Form, you can use Void Bolt and generate 16 from that, and also the 20 from Mind Blast. I believe those are pretty much going to be your main two spells while in your Void Form, and you're not really going to worry about Mind Flay all that much. You might get to that later, testing and stuff like that. But Shadow Word Death still around. It does generate 30 insanity if the target dies. So if there's a low health ad running around, you might want to hit it just to get your 30 insanity. Your bubble's still there. Your Vampiric Embrace still there. 3-minute cooldown, all that stuff. Silence. Mass Dispels here. You don't have the normal just single target dispel. So it's just Mass Dispel now. It costs you 40 insanity, so it's not going to be something you want to spam because it's actually going to prevent you from doing your big damage. And it will affect 10 targets, so it does affect quite a bit, but it does cost you a lot. Your new spell, Shadow Mend. If you wanted to heal, you now have one, but at a small price. You will heal your ally for 36,000, but they will then take dot damage of 3,608 every 1 second until they've taken 18,000 damage or leave combat. And it will drain 10 insanity if you have any. So if you do cast it while you have 90 insanity, you'll drop down to 80 and just have to make that up. So, but you do have a heal that is castable. Dispersion still around. At 60% damage reduction, last 6 seconds, 2-minute cooldown on that. You still have Fade, reducing all damage and threat as well by 10%. And of course, Psychic Scream still around. Psychic Core is still there. You still have your AoE of Mind Seer. It does generate 7 insanity over the duration per target hit. So if you have a lot of people around, you could use that to generate at least a decent amount of insanity. Dominate Mind, Baseline, Mind Vision, Shackle Undead, all that stuff still there. That's the nuts and bolts of that. We'll go into talents. Your talents. You're still an Intellect class. In case you were wondering, you still use Intellect. Don't get messed up on that. A lot of new talents for you with all these changes. You got Twist of Fate now at the top. After damaging a target below 35% health, you deal 20% increased damage and 20% increased healing for 10 seconds. Fortress of the Mind, Mind Flay, Mind Blast deal 10% more damage and generate 20% more insanity. So if you wanted a passive to just help you generate your insanity a lot faster, that would definitely be one way to go. Shadow Word Void is a new cast. It generates 30 insanity on a 20-second timer, recharge timer. Blast the target's mind for 11,342 shadow damage. So if you want an extra spell for your rotation, that would be it. It generates a little bit more than Mind Blast, however has a longer cooldown. So your choice on that. You got another passive. You move 1% faster for every 5 insanity you have. So a nice movement speed throughout an encounter, because you're not going to be at 0 all that much. You're going to be generating insanity the entire encounter. So if you basically want some passive movement speed, that's going to give it to you. Body and Soul, Power Word, Shield, and Leap of Faith still increase your target's movement speed by 40%, including yourself. So that's still around. Another passive, when you cast Shadow Mend on yourself, it will deal no damage. So if you cast it on other people, it still keeps the damage component. But if you wanted to heal for yourself that you could probably spam or use as part of your rotation to keep yourself alive, you could take this, and that way you don't deal that dot damage back to yourself. Now, Dominate Mind is on the talent, but it has changed. It's a when you control someone else through Dominate Mind, you also can still control yourself. So you'll be able to move 2 characters at the same time. Not exactly sure how that's going to work. I'll definitely get around to playing with that to see how that happens, because that could be some fun right there. You can reduce the cooldown of your Psychic Scream ability by 30 seconds if you want. Mind Bomb unleashes a psychic explosion, stunning all enemies within 8 yards of the target for 3 seconds, and will replace your Psychic Scream. So if you didn't want to just have them running around like crazy, you could stun them instead on a 30-second cooldown, which is 30 seconds faster than Scream anyway. So you can get yourself a nice AoE stun versus an AoE fear. Void Lord, while in Void form, your shadow damage bonus is now 40%, and that bonus also applies to your absorbs and healing. So get into void form, your damage bonus goes up for shadow damage, and it applies to all your healing and absorbs while in there. Little buff there. Reaper of Souls, your Shadow Word Death is now castable on targets below 35% health, and also generates insanity even if it did not kill the target. So as long as you can cast Shadow Word Death and you have a higher health percentage to do so, instead of being at 20%, they can be at 35%. You can start your execute phase a lot sooner, and you'll automatically generate the insanity no matter what instead of losing out. So that's probably a very good choice there. Void Ray, each time your Mind Flay deals damage, you gain 10% increase Mind Flay damage over 3 seconds, stacking up to 6 times. So about a 60% damage increase while channeling Mind Flay. If you know you're going to stand still a lot, not a bad choice. We'll see how that works out. Shadowy Insight, your Shadow Word Pain damage has a 10% chance to reset the cooldown on Mind Blast, so just a little RNG in there. You have your Spirits will deal 100% increased damage as a passive, if you wanted to go there. You get another new passive, lots of passives. Increases the damage of your Vampiric Touch by 20% and the healing of your Vampiric Embrace by 20% as well. So if you wanted a little bit more healing power, there you go. Power Infusion still around, 25% haste for 20 seconds, and increasing insanity generation by 25% as well. So instead of just the haste, you also get more insanity generated. That's on a 2-minute cooldown. You got Mindbender on a 1-minute cooldown, still does the same thing. Replaces your Shadow Fiend and attacks your target. And then the caster receives 5 insanity when the Mindbender attacks and lasts for 20 seconds. So your Shadow Fiend still just basically attacks with nothing else as on it. Your Mindbender will add insanity to its auto attacks as well. So if you want a little more utility out of your Shadowy Fiend. Shadow Crash, you'll hurl a bolt of slow moving shadow energy at the destination, dealing 17,000 damage to all targets within 8 yards, and generate 15 insanity on a 30-second cooldown. And I'll click some of these and show you the cast animations and see if they're any good here in a minute. Surrender of Madness on your 100 tier. Surrender to the old gods on a 10-minute cooldown. Jesus. Sacrificing your soul for ultimate power. All your insanity generating abilities generate 300% more insanity until you exit void form, and then you die and it replaces void form. So this would replace void form, so you no longer go into it at all unless you pop the cooldown. Then when you pop the cooldown, you become the strongest damage dealer in the history of World of Warcraft, and then promptly kill yourself. So that's going to be an interesting choice, because you are sacrificing yourself and have to either A, get res to continue the fight, or B, you could use this at the end of a fight, execute phase, and just go nuts and die, but hopefully you got the boss kill because you became ultra powerful. So that's going to be fun to play with. Mind Spike, blast the target for 15,000 damage, increases the damage done of your next Mind Blast within 15 seconds by 50%, stacking up to 5 times, and it also generates 5 insanity, and this time replaces Mind Flay, so you do not have to choose which of the 2 spells to use. It will replace Mind Flay altogether. So I can see that if you're going to have to run around a bit more and you don't have time to channel Mind Flay a lot, you could take this one instead, or if you just like casting spells instead of sitting here channeling the same thing over and over again, you could do that. Legacy of the Void, casting Mind Blast increases the effect of your next Shadow Word by 50% for 30 seconds, stacking up to 2 times. So essentially keeping your Shadow Word Death during execute phase, you could buff it for that, and then putting up your initial Shadow Word Pain, you would probably try and get 2 buffs, 2 stack on that before you put your Pain up. That way you have a stronger Shadow Word Pain as well, which you would then hopefully not let drop off, because you'll be getting into Void form and using Void Bolt, so you wouldn't actually have to rebuff it later on unless for some reason you drop your Shadow Word Pain. So Let's take some of these and see if we can see if they look any different as far as cast animation goes, but I of course have to target something. We'll have to find something to actually target later on. Let's do the mind bomb. Why not? And those are all passive, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Man. We'll do the death one. 35%. Passive, passive, passive. Everything's passive. Everything's passive. We'll just do that one. Let's take the shadow crash so we can see the crash. I'm not going to be able to do these right now. Obviously, we're going to hopefully be able to take advantage of these during the artifact quest, and we'll just surrender to madness, because why not? Let's see how awesome this form looks, if it does look good or not. Now, does that completely replace void form as my passive would be the other question. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Alright, let's take our quest. Read it if you want to. If you don't want to read it, that's fine. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go.
See you later.
Oh. I need my mount. I need my mount. This is what happens first thing in the morning. Trying to do this stuff. Not ready. Tired. Hungry. It's what I put myself through just for you guys. Just for you guys. If it makes you feel better, though, I do have a Pepsi. And it is good. It is good. To the crater we go. Now, last time this made me fall without actually landing. Yeah, and I'm still gonna fall and not actually land, so let's save our life. I really don't feel like dying. There you go, people. Be wary of portals that drop you into a crater. And then we go all the way over to Thurston Fall, of course. So you get to watch me fly. How exciting is that? Hopefully that bug is fixed before Legion comes out. That you will not just fall to your death when you take the portal to the Dalaran crater. However, you now know about it, so there should be no excuse for you dying to that mechanic, because you now know that there was a time where you just fell to your death if you took that portal. I believe the only people that are using it, though, are mages and priests. No other class has to really use that portal, so both of you have some way to slow your falling, levitate, and slow fall. So you should not actually ever die from it, but there you go. I'm not sure what the intention there was. I would assume that you were just supposed to port there on the ground, but someone at Blizzard's trying to be cute and decided that they would just have you drop to your death and see if you could handle it. I don't know. There's a dead guy there. He does nothing, but you land on top of his corpse and you become a corpse as well. Maybe because he's a paladin, he didn't bubble in time. You know, there's lots of things that could have happened, I guess. We're gonna fly out here. This little area with a bunch of hooded priests who does not actually have a hood on. Good for him. Lying to me already, just like priests do.
Need help? Go with honor, friend.
Oh, secrecy. He's hiding. He's stepping out from the shadows. gathering all the priests, different dominations. So obviously we're going to take up his little challenge and become the greatest priest Azeroth has ever seen by picking our artifact weapon, which is a dagger of the old gods. Dagger of the old gods. There it is. Its equip is Mind Flay has a chance to spawn a void tentacle that will channel a Mind Flay at your current target for 10 seconds. Obviously comes with an offhand as well. I would assume if you get rid of Mind Flay because of the Mind Spike, that Mind Spike will then do that. Otherwise, that'd be a useless weapon. Somewhere, but then you mark a location on my map. How convenient. You don't know exactly where, but you know it's over here, but then give me the exact spot it's going to be. So we will fly to this previously. I don't think in current you could actually go to this area of the map. I don't believe there's any water or anything over there. I would have to double check that on live, but I haven't been out here in years anyway, so who knows. There could be some water over there and I just never realized it. So with the void, it didn't say when you were picking the talent that there'd be 3 charges, but there apparently are 3 charges of the thing. So I mean that's 90 insanity in 3 seconds right there. That's not bad. Be a nice little opener actually. Shadow Crash does 15, and then of course we have the Surrender to Madness. So we'll have to see how this goes. I assume there'll be something to kill during this artifact quest so that we can see these animations. I don't think any of the other ones changed. I don't think Mind Blast changed. I don't think, obviously, Shadow Word Pain or Vampire Touch didn't change. Nothing to change there. And probably haven't changed Mind Flay. Is why I do something like that. We'll cast it, of course, and find out, but who knows. Let's go find some clues. Hey, look, there's shadowy guys that we can attack. So use the new one. Void does not look like anything special. There's your Shadow Crash, just like them other big guys. That's nice. And there's your Void form. So you are now in Void form. You're all shadowy. Congratulations. Ah, God. So as you see, your Void form just lights you up. You're all purple. Everything you cast, it generates insanity, will keep you in it. Otherwise, it will try and get you out of it. So, a bunch of notes, I guess, and all that stuff. So I guess we'll go collect these notes. Mind Flay looks exactly the same as before. Nothing special there. So your old god one basically looks exactly the same. It does not change your void form look in any way, shape, or form. I was hoping for something fancier. And there you are, you're dead. So, oh, it spawns me right back on top of this dude. How fancy. Your min doesn't really show anything fancy either. It appears your spells are still very plain and not very cool looking. It doesn't look like I'm actually taking the dot damage. Did I take that talent? I did not take that talent. Yeah. Well, your Shadow Word Mend is broken right now anyway. It will not deal damage to you. So, congratulations. That will likely be fixed before live, I assume, once again. You could probably really just spam that there then too, keep you in insanity even longer. Even your Void Bolt just looks so plain. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you guys. You don't have very good animations to me. They're just not very cool looking. So let's read this book. More clues, more clues. You can read it in the... Pause the video and read it if you want. Spoilers and stuff. Guess we'll swap these two since I'm using it more often. By the time I go into it, somebody's dead. Oh, I pulled a big Void Walker at the same time. That's probably not the best thing to do. Told you I am not a good Shadow Priest. Shadow Fiend still looks the same. Nothing special about him either. I was nowhere near you guys. Here's your bomb. There's your stun. Kind of looks like the old Warlock one. And I'm dead again because I'm not really paying attention. So there you go. But as you can see, you get that buff after your insanity leaves. You keep that haste for a little while with the lingering insanity. So it'll be kind of nice in an actual raid there. Hopefully, L, when you're watching this, you forgive my uninspired shadow play, as I do not care for ShadowPriest all that much. Anyway, you can read it if you want to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you're done reading. Why does it still say I haven't found the second clue? It's over there, that's why. I just wanted you to see the crash again. There you go. Shadow Crash. Looks exactly like them old NPCs that used it. So, there you go. Stage 2! Raiding the Tomb Raiders. Oh, we're going to the bottom of the lake. We're going swimming. So the longer you stay in void form, the more haste you generate. That's kind of nice. Oh, nice little cave there. Not finished yet. Oh, they noticed us. Yes, our double agent. Yeah, he's a traitor, alright. I do like Blizzard has taken the effort with the new default UI to make it look a lot better as far as nameplates and stuff go, so. The only problem I have with them is you can't currently put any sort of text like health percentage or anything like that on those bars. If you could just put a small health percentage on them, they'd be perfect. So we're going to go into here after our double agent lets us in. We have to stop the dampening ritual. Take the bubble off. You know, dispel it and crap. We'll move this over here because I'm actually using it a lot. Yeah, mine seriously looks the same. Oh, I lost my insanity. Let's see, I have a dispel magic still. There we go. 20 insanity. Jesus, I have to actually have some insanity just to cast either one? That doesn't seem fair. That's pretty much going to make you useless for dispelling now. Guess you ShadowPriest have complained about having to dispel stuff? I don't know. Guess they either make it cost something, but... the damage feels pretty decent, comparable to a mage as far as the AoEs and stuff go for ticking damage. Don't fear the Reaper. That's what it says. We interrupted this exciting event. Stuff's happening. I don't know what. Now... guess we're going inside here. Going inside another area. And this is the way out, I thought. Well, whatever. Our little spy tells us to go this way, we go this way, right? I have a feeling he was messing with me, though. I don't think it would be up there. Let's go back down here. This is what happens. First time I've logged into a ShadowPriest. I have no idea where I'm going. No idea. This is probably the last spec I would have looked at anyway, so L, all for you. All for you. Let's see, but there's, I don't know, the marker's way back there. See, this is where being live, and you guys could have told me, no, it's the other direction. Would have come in handy. Oh yeah, there's 3 mobs over here. I guess that should have been a clue, huh? Your bubble does seem really weak, though. Really weak. It literally just took like 1 hit off. You know you need something to cast while on the move. Guess I could have stunned him too, huh? Did I kill the big one at least? I did. I at least killed the big guy. Thanks for the 43 silver. Now, since my mouse over isn't actually working, I guess we'll just do this. And the same for the other one. For some reason they're not working unless they're actually on a frame. Which is kind of retarded. We were working earlier for my healing stuff. Boom! Look at that, everything's dead, yay! Oh, there's more guys. Why are these guys just hanging out down here? That seems kinda odd. Don't attack me. Oh, look at that. Getting fancy abilities with this guy. At least it doesn't break from a little damage. Oh, there's my food. Looks like we got some voidness going on in here. It's little tentacles to poke yourself with. If you're into tentacle parties, here you go. Go away, Lua Airs. Man, how many of these tentacles are there? Oh, I'm hallucinating. That's cool. Don't attack more of them. I'm gonna have to kill all of them because of this stupid NPC. He's gonna kill all of them. He's no regard for his own safety, apparently. Are you gonna heal yourself, or do I have to heal you for you? Yeah, can't heal him anyway. You're out of luck. Alright, so we'll come in here and there's some dude. Looks like he's playing with a body. The Twilight Deacon, huh? So he's trying to bring that thing back to life with your future weapon. Oh, he's going to take care of the guys coming from behind, while we have to do all the hard work of taking out these guys. Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Dwarf. Who told him it would work? Guess I didn't realize I was gonna come here. Haha, suckers. Alright, he is stunnable. Oh, he brings out his own tentacles. Great. I should probably be killing these tentacles, but I really don't feel like it. Apparently, your weapon has a mind of its own, and it does not like that guy. The blade has agreed to help you for now. Your blade is going to try and turn on you, just like it turned on that old man. And good luck with that, ShadowPriest. There you go. There's your artifact weapon. And, yeah. I'm going to use Dark Drain to kill this thing.